It is time for another unboxing video. That is a big, heavy box because there are 20 slabs in this one. So this is going to be a minute here. And we've got a ton of good ones, all modern issues, lots of first covers, lots of issues I've never owned before. So lots of good stuff in here. My name's Jim. I'm with CGC Sports Illustrated. Do these unboxing videos. I know what the issues are. I don't know what the grades are. You're getting my surprise reaction here. Let me make sure that these are facing the right way so I don't see what they are and get a peek. While I'm doing this, let's talk about autographs. Lots of people collect Sports Illustrateds and use them as the medium to get the athletes to sign and get their autographs. So, autographs are complicated at CGC. I've done a lot of videos on this. Take a quick, brief overview, but CGC does not recognize third-party autograph authenticators like JSA, PSA, Beckett. So when you get one authenticated by them, CGC doesn't care. So they essentially treat the autograph as a defect. Keep that in mind. It's a little bit more complicated than that. I've done videos. Go back and watch those. What I'm doing is I've got a bunch of autographed Sports Illustrated issues. I'm just not getting them graded right now. So just kind of holding pat to see if things change. Okay. We got a lot to get to here, so I'm going to run through these quickly. 20 slabs, looking for a ton of 9.8s. And let's get it started. Oh my! Oh my! Oh, how did that happen? How did that happen? I'm blown away. I'm absolutely shocked and blown away by this. Everyone in the hobby has been hunting and working and searching and submitting this issue, hoping we'd be the first one to pop the first 9.8, and it just happened. Oh, this is huge. My projected on this was 9.4, so but I did not think it had a chance at 9.8. Well, I'm already going to my water because I'm worked up. And, okay, let's talk about it. Brett Favre, first Sports Illustrated cover, January 15th, 1996. There is one 9.8. That's it. And it just came out of this box, and it's right here in my stinking hands. Brett Favre, first cover. 9.8. There are 5 9.6s. There are 7 9.4s. So the color on the back is right along the spine. That makes it condition sensitive. Lots of dark color right here along the spine there. Talk about this a lot. That little black strip means that this is a gatefold issue. That black part is actually page 2 of the magazine. And what that does is it gives you essentially almost like a second spine. It's another area where there's a fold in the paper, and that gives you a high likelihood of ink flaking off along there and creating damage and knocking your grade down. But not on this one, because this is a friggin' 9.8 Brett Favre first cover. A great way to start this box. The rest of this box could be crap, and I'd be totally thrilled. I was really not expecting this. You know, so it's interesting that the Packers had 2 of the most amazing quarterbacks in successive generations in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. And out of those 30 years that those guys were running the, quarterback in the Packers, they only got 2 Super Bowls out of it. I came across this YouTube clip with some Brett Favre stuff, and so let's watch it here real quick.
Got dinged or something, or maybe they just want another look. They're going to give Brett Favre a chance.
Going to complete, if he throws, his first NFL completion, and it's to himself. Knocked down by Ray Seals at the 10. Ray Seals was the one who tipped it.
Watch the lower left hand of your screen. Ray Seals, he's going to come. Going to have the man open. Watch Harry Sidney come through. Ray Seals does a good job getting his hands up, bats it down. This is what's going to make Brett Favre a good player. See, he never stopped. Very competitive. He doesn't want to go down. He's going to make something happen. The book on Brett Favre, he's got a rocket for an arm. He's got to learn some touch.
That's good stuff. I like that YouTube video. Cracks me up. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. When this box is over, I'm going to turn the camera off and the lights off, and I'm just going to sit in my office here and look at this for like about an hour. I own this at 9.6. I've owned this in a number of different grades. I've been hunting to get that 9.8 forever and ever. And I was getting to the point where I was thinking it wasn't ever going to happen because 9.8s are harder than ever to come by. This issue is, coming up on almost 30 years old. It's condition sensitive. You've got the gatefold. Makes it really tough. Brett Favre, first cover, 9.8, pop 1, none higher. There's one of these in the whole world. I got it in my freaking hands. I'm blown away. Blown away. Okay. We're going to go through the rest of these really quick because we got a lot to go through. And I took a lot of time savoring and enjoying that Brett Favre 9.8. Next up. Oh, look at this one. Look at this one. Boom. Labeling on there and everything. Deion Sanders' first cover. November 13th, 1989. Why am I so excited about this issue that's, just over 30 years old and it's a 9.0? Because this is the highest graded copy in the world. Now, it's a Pop 2, but that's it. A lot of these issues have been graded. We've been looking to get it, higher and higher, and I've had several of these at 8.5. I've never been able to get to that 9.0. So Deion Sanders' first cover, November 13th, 1989. There are now two 9.0s. There are two 8.5s, an 8.0, and several others out there. I projected this at an 8.5. Prime time. Deion Sanders, prime time. I cannot wait to see what he does at the University of Colorado. If he can turn around that program, which was the worst Power 5 program in the nation last year, and make that a competitive program, his collectability is going to continue to increase. Two-sport athlete, played football, played baseball, played in a World Series game and a Super Bowl. The only athlete in history to ever play in both a Super Bowl and a World Series game. Deion Sanders, first cover, 9.0. Box is crushing it, and we're only two deep. Next up. Pretty good. Pretty good. Tiger Masterpiece. I had projected this at a 9.2, so very happy with that 9.4. This came out on April 16th, 2001. There are 12 9.8s. I own a couple of those. 7 9.6s, and now there's 12 9.4s. I've made no secret about how much I love this cover. I talk about how these issues are a work of art, much more so than sports cards. This is Tiger Woods on the 18th tee at Augusta in 2001, where he won his second Masters championship. It's a beautiful shot. A green tee box, you can see right down the fairway. You got the fans all along the side. Tiger's in his Sunday red in the middle of his backswing, and way off in the back there, you see the trap and the green of the 18th tee at Augusta. Tiger Masterpiece, 9.4. Not going to say it. I was going to say something, but I'm afraid I'm going to jinx this box. So I'm going to need some other good stuff before I start talking about how awesome this box is. Just mentioning a jinxed it for me. People Magazine. This is the first People Magazine I've ever gotten graded. This is the Kobe tribute issue. Came out right after his death. It hits newsstands on February 10th, 2020. There are two 9.6s. There are now two 9.4s. There are three 9.2s. I had projected this at a 9.6. This is about one of the nicest 9.4s you're ever going to see. Everybody had their Kobe tribute issues, Sports Illustrated and Time and Newsweek and People and all that sort of stuff. And I went out and bought them and love it. Issue came out 2 weeks after Kobe passed in 2020. Okay, next up. This one's a little bit older. 80s or early 90s. Well, there's the first 9.6 of the box. Let's hope this is the only 9.6 of the box. Michael Jordan, this is the Air Power issue. It came out on June 17th, 1991. There's a number of these graded. The census was all goofy when I was preparing for this one, so I don't have the pop report information on this. But I'm a big fan of this. I do not own it at 9.8, and so I still don't own it at 9.8. Let's just move on quickly from that one. Let's move on quickly. Let's remember that 9.8 Favre, the 9.0 Deion Sanders. Let's just go back to those vibes than those thinking 9.6 vibes. Okay, pretty good. Larry Bird. This is the NBA's best all-around player issue. So this one came out on November 9th, 1981. There are two 8.5s. There are now three 8.0s and a 7.0. 8.5 is the highest graded copy. I had projected this at an 8.5, so still within my range. Interesting that this is Larry's only second season when this issue came out. They're already calling him the best all-around player in basketball, and don't disagree with that. Cannot talk about this enough. That green strip, that's a gatefold. Makes this issue really condition sensitive, and that's why the highest graded copy is 8.5. I mean, it's freaking Larry Bird, and it's one of his early covers, and the highest graded copy is 8.5, and that's it, and there's only two of those. So really condition sensitive issue and a good one. Pretty good in this one. Pretty good in this one. I am a little... Okay, so let's talk about it. This is Jordan Sky High. I projected this at 8.0. I own it at 8.0. Now, if you know, I own all 50 Michael Jordan Sports Illustrated covers graded, and now what I'm doing is trying to upgrade some of those lower grades, like this one, which I own at 8.0, and now I own two of them at 8.0. Can't be really disappointed because I love this issue no matter what in any grade, and I projected it at an 8.0. There's a 9.6. There are two 9.4s. There are two 9.0s. Very condition sensitive on this one. This photo was taken during Game 4 of the first round of the playoffs in 1988 between the Bulls and the Cavs that year. The Bulls won that series and ended up following up and losing to the Pistons right after that. 8.0, Michael Jordan, Sky High from 1988. Great looking picture. Great looking cover. Of course, it was the following playoffs in 1989 where Jordan famously hit the shot over Elo to win that series with no time left, and one of the most iconic shots in Jordan history. That was the year before, where they still beat the Cavs. Poor Cavs. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm a Bulls fan. I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. I know that if you're a fan of any other NBA team, your life was miserable in the 90s because of the Bulls. But I'm sorry. Knicks fans, Cleveland fans, Detroit had a little bit of success, but we whooped you later on. You know, so many great players. Barkley never won won a championship. So many great players just got shut out by Michael. What are you going to do? This is an exciting box. I'll at least give it that. This is a very exciting box. Because 9.6 is get my heart racing, not for a good reason. And if you haven't watched my videos, 9.6 is my least favorite grade because it is so close to a 9.8, but it's not. I think this is a super underrated issue. This is Kobe and Shaq. This came out on June 25th, 2001. There is one 9.8. There are now three 9.6s, three 9.4s. I projected this at a 9.4, so did a little bit better than my projection. It's Kobe's most underrated cover. I mean, this is the Kobe and Shaq we want to remember, where they were friends and playing together, and things were going good, and we're winning championships, not where they were arguing and fighting, you know, later on, and that sort of stuff. And I see this cover, you know, it sells, and it always sells for way less than what I think it should. So I'm a big fan of this. Kobe and Shaq, 9.6. That's the best I've ever done on that issue. I've had a number of them graded, and that 9.6 is the best. But man, I would have loved to have had only the second 9.8 of that one in existence. Okay, up next. Another 9.6. This is LeBron James and the Party on Cleveland cover from August 8th, 2016. There are two 9.8s. There's this one 9.6, and there's some others out there graded. Projected this at a 9.6. This is fresh off of Cleveland winning their first NBA championship and LeBron's first NBA championship. It's not the first Sports Illustrated cover. There's another very cool LeBron cover that's a weekly issue of him holding up the trophy that came out right after they won it. This one came out a couple months later, but still on the heels of that first championship, and very cool. Cool issue. Love the issue. Do not love that grade of 9.6. Back-to-back 9.6s. Got to break the trend right now. Something different. Not a 9.6 on this one. Definitely not a 9.6. 7.5. This issue is beautiful in any grade. This is Jerry Rice and his first Sports Illustrated cover. So this one came out on January 30th, 1989. There are three 9.8s. There's a 9.6. There's three 9.4s. I projected this at an 8.5, so it was, overly optimistic, as we all tend to be with our grades. Yeah, there's some. Here's that's what killed me. Some scuffs on the back that broke color, that couldn't be fixed in pressing. That's what did it on that one. But love Jerry Rice. Love this cover. 7.5. It's decent. Decent. Okay, next up. There it is. There's another 9.8. There's another 9.8. Michael Jordan 9.8. This is the Gimme 5 cover. Came out on June 9th, 1997. There are three 9.8s. I own two of them. I don't care. I'm a bit of a Jordan snob, and I'm a bit of a 9.8 snob. Sue me. But I own two of the three 9.8s. There are seven 9.6s. There are four 9.4s. I projected this at 9.6 because I don't project 9.8s anymore. This is after the 97 finals when the Bulls won their fifth NBA ring, hence the headline, Gimme 5. Interestingly enough, the Bulls, out of their 6 NBA championships in the 90s, only two of them, they only won 2 of them at home. The second championship versus the Blazers, they won at home. And then the 5th championship versus Salt Lake, they won at home. The other 4 were all on the road. Let me do some shifting over here so that I don't accidentally peek at those grades. Okay, next up. Love a Jordan 9.8. All day long, love a Jordan 9.8. Wish I could say I love a LeBron 9.8, which I do. But that's not what we got here. We got another freaking 9.6. This is my 3rd or 4th 9.6 in this box. It's a good thing I got those 9.8s. I'd be really pissed. LeBron, best ever? Question mark. That's the headline. That's not me saying that, obviously, as a Jordan fan. So this cover came out on February 21st, 2005. There are 4 9.6s, 4 9.4s, 2 9.2s. I projected this at 9.2. I can't be crushed by a 9.6. It is the highest graded copy in the world. There's none graded higher. It's a beautiful cover. It's a freaking ridiculous headline. 05, so this was LeBron's, 3rd season? Best ever, question mark. Here we are, almost 20 years later, and he's still not the best ever. Fight me. Pretty good. Love a Tyson cover. Love a Tyson cover at 9.0. This is the KO'd cover. Came out on February 19th, 1990. Highest graded copy in the world. It's a Pop 2, but there's none graded higher than this one. There's a 7.5, and there's some others out there. I projected this at a 9.2, and I probably projected this knowing that the other 9.0 existed and hoping that I could have the highest graded copy. Obviously this was the cover that came out right after Tyson had lost to Buster Douglas in the fight in Japan. Buster Douglas was a 42-1 underdog. Widely regarded as the biggest upset in boxing history. I love talk about these issues as a work of art. We talk about them capturing that great moment in history. I mean, look at this photo. We remember when Buster nailed him and his mouth guard came out and Tyson was on the ground and he's getting up and he was worried about his mouth guard, putting it back in, and you can see it right there. It just captures that moment in history. I remember where I was. I was a young teenager, and my buddy and I were at my house, and we were watching the Tyson fight. He was over because we were getting ready to watch the Tyson fight. We watched that fight, and I mean, I was stunned because I was 14, so I thought, you know, Tyson is invincible. I mean, many people thought, but I was a little naive kid and thought, oh, Tyson's the greatest boxer ever. He's invincible. He's never going to lose. We're going to live forever. And the shock on my face when the ref called it and Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas. An incredible piece of history here. And at 9.0, that's a pop 2 with none graded higher. Okay, next up. You dirty. You. This is Kobe Playoff Dreams. This has kind of been a chase issue for me. I've gotten this one graded a ton. I've had grades all over the place. There are now 2 9.6s. I own both of them. I would love to say I own only one of them and the other's a 9.8, but that's not what happened. There's a 9.4, there's a 9.2. I projected this at 9.4, so I guess going in, I kind of knew it wasn't a 9.8. Ultra condition sensitive, full color on the back, lots of black along the spine. The entire front has got a black backdrop, making any flaw just come screaming out. So it's no surprise that I or anybody else haven't been able to get this in a 9.8 yet. Kobe Playoff Dreams, 9.8 or 9.6. That's how bad I want the 9.8. Sometimes 9.8 just flies out of my mouth. Next up. Gretzky and Magic. Great move, Gretzky. This came out on August 22nd, 1988. There is one 9.8. There's one 9.6, 2 9.4s. I had projected this as an 8.0, so I missed out on that. Missed out on my little buffer that I give myself when I project, but it's a beautiful looking cover. Gretzky was traded to the Kings on August 9th, and then this issue came out on August 22nd. And I love multiple Hall of Famers on the cover. It's just a beautiful looking cover with Gretzky and Magic on there. The 9.6s just keep on coming. See, now so, okay, this makes me extra angry because this is Robinson Cano in his first Sports Illustrated cover. This is also a 1 of 4 regional variant, which CGC failed to give me the first cover notation on the slab, and they also failed to break out this regional variant separately. Came out on March 31st, 2014. I projected this at 9.4, so 9.6, great. What the bizarre thing on this is, Yadier Molina was on one of the other covers. His variant is broken out in the census because I saw that before I did this video. But for some freaking reason, even though I sent this in, I made the request, they didn't break out the Cano version separately. He won a World Series with the Yankees in 2009, 2011 Home Run Derby winner, 8-time All-Star Robinson Cano, first Sports Illustrated cover from 2013, graded at a painful, aggravating, annoying 9.6. That is not great. I projected this at a 9.0, so 8.5 goes within my range. I own it at 9.6. This is the Jordan 3 episode. Came out on June 28th, 1993, right after the Bulls' first three-peat. There are 2 9.8s, 3 9.6s. Like I said, I own one of those 9.6s. 7 9.4 copies out there, and less than 4 months after this issue came out in October 1993, Jordan would announce his first retirement. This is the Time Magazine Kobe Tribute issue. I've been chasing this. I've gotten a bunch of these graded. Been chasing that 9.8 that I've been looking for and haven't gotten it yet. Came out on February 10th, 2020. There are 18 9.8s, 13 9.6s, 15 9.4s. One of the probably the highest pop count for any Time magazine with an athlete on it. Maybe the highest pop count for any Time magazine ever graded. I projected this at 9.4. Missed my window on the projection on the downside, which is never good. It's a fitting cover, and probably the most somber image out of any of the magazines that came out with a Kobe tribute right after his passing. This is the one that just gets you right there. Okay, 2 slabs left. I know this video's run long. We had a ton of them to go through and a lot of excitement. 8.5, Pete Rose and Carl Yastrzemski, the Old Masters. Now, I find it interesting that they use the term Old Masters, because this issue came out on July 19th, 1982, right in the middle of Star Wars hype. I mean, Star Wars, it was like peak Star Wars. Summer of 82, Empire Strikes Back, it just came out. Jedi Masters, Old Masters. Maybe I'm stretching here, but good looking issue. There are 3 9.0s. There's one 8.5. And there's an 8.0. I had projected this at 9.0. So within my window, but again, on the downside. Okay, last one. Let's end on a 9.8. Let's not end. Let's all agree that we don't want this to end on a 9.6, but we want it to end on a 9.8. Oh, I wasn't going to get a 9.8 on this one anyway, but 8.0 and a cool issue. Lambier and Magic. So June 27th, 1988. I projected this at an 8.5. So this 8.0 is a pop 1 with none graded higher. And I got it graded, not because of Magic, because of Bill Lambier. I don't know why, but I always have had an affinity toward the villains. I mean, I love Darth Vader, and I know I'm not alone with that, but I kind of always like the guys that are viewed as villains. Christian Laettner, I mean, I get why people hated him, but I loved Laettner. And for some reason, as a Bulls fan, I should freaking hate Bill Lambier's guts. But he's just such an agitator, and I don't know why that appeals to me. Dennis Rodman, same thing. Even when he was at the Pistons and with the Bulls. I love Rodman. I love those guys that are just those agitators. Draymond Green. I don't know why. So I got this graded because of Lambier on the cover. Down to the Wire is the headline on this one. And again, this is from 1988. Magic and Bill Lambier at an 8.0. This was one of the more fun boxes. I mean, those 9.6s certainly pissed me off, but I can't believe that 9.8 Brett Favre first cover. I'm shocked by that. I did not think that was going to happen. And was starting to think that nobody was going to get a 9.8 Brett Favre first cover, and had a Jordan 9.8, and way too many damn 9.6s. That's it for this video. If you're interested in my pressing service or my submission service as a CGC authorized dealer, drop a comment, shoot me a DM on social media. Good box. Sorry it ran a little bit long, but as always, I really do appreciate when you watch these things. So thanks a lot.